Hello everyone and welcome to Know Your Representative, the program that bridges the visible gap between lawmakers and their constituents. Today on the show we'll take a look at the activities of NILDS, that's the National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies. I am Maria Olashainde. We'll take a short break and I'll be back soon. Stay with us. The task of the leaders is to get their people from where they are to where they've not been. How do we hold our leaders accountable in the business of lawmaking and representation?
The mandate that you have given to us is not abuse in any way.
The primary purpose of government is to ensure the welfare and security of the Nigerian people.
Constituency projects had noble intentions and they still remain the most veritable tool.
Do they really know their representatives at the states and national assemblies?
Our people, they don't have water, they are suffering. They only drink water from where rain fall.
For the current one, the 10th assembly, I don't really know who is in charge.
From the mountaintops to the deepest valleys, we're ready to go an extra mile just to show Nigerian your constituency project. Know your representative with Maria, bridging the visible gap.
Welcome to NILDS, where excellence thrives. National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies, an organ of Nigeria's National Assembly, driving sustainable progress. Imagine a world-class institution with cutting-edge facilities, designed to empower parliamentarians and democratic leaders. At the core of our mission lies a commitment to strengthening the capacity of legislators in Nigeria, both at the national and sub-national levels. With over 2 decades of proven success, our expertise has empowered parliamentarians across Africa and beyond, including the ECOWAS Parliament. NILDS offers advanced executive leadership programs designed to enhance the technical skills of leaders across the continent, ensuring they are well equipped to meet the challenges of governance. Why look elsewhere for top-tier training solutions? Choose NILDS, your trusted homegrown partner. Save energy, save costs, and experience excellence with National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies. We redefine capacity building with expert training and innovative learning. Our rich library is a treasure trove of knowledge, offering rare collections for scholars, researchers, and policymakers. From groundbreaking research to academic distinction, we lead the way in fostering democracy and transformation. We also champion citizens' engagement and education through the NILDS Democracy Radio 104.9 FM. To address the nation's security challenges, NILDS houses the Legislative Center for Security Analysis, a premier repository of research and data. Our 1,000-seater convention center and modern lecture halls ranging from 70 to 300 seats set the stage for unforgettable events. We craft experiences with elegance. Connect with us today and be part of the legacy. Location: Number 2, Abubakar O. Suleiman Avenue, off POA Junction, Airport Road, Abuja. NILDS, your partner in strengthening democracy for Nigeria, for Africa, for the world.
The National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies, NILDS, in partnership with the MacArthur Foundation, organized a one-day validation workshop on the review of the National Assembly's 2014 Gender Strategy Policy.
On this very strategic activity that we are trying to implement, we should not forget to engage organizations of persons with disabilities, especially women who are excluded, underrepresented, and sidelined as a woman with disability. And lastly, the barriers that we face. These barriers could be infrastructural, attitudinal, and institutional. So I'm suggesting that we should work with women with disabilities to achieve this. Doing this will amplify our voices. We need to move from exclusion to inclusion, and inclusion to participation, and participation to representation.
Capacity building, these are actions that are very achievable and will really bring out something positive for at the end of the period. The MIE framework with key performance indicators to track outcomes. Now, I want to really dwell on this one. If we really want to achieve this, after all the talk, the meetings, and we all go back, what happens now? There was a part where this document that was shared, I quickly browsed through and I saw where the MIE framework, where they mentioned a committee will be set in place to review and then see how far we are going and able to report progress and see where we are. If that idea is really on our mind, we really follow it judiciously, we will really achieve this.
The policy review aims to ensure that gender practices and strategies within the National Assembly reflect current realities and serve as a catalyst for promoting inclusive and gender-responsive legislation nationwide.
NILDS has remained a pillar of legislative excellence, fostering research, capacity building, policy development that enhance governance. I applaud your tireless efforts in bridging knowledge gaps and equipping lawmakers with the tools necessary to enact progressive and inclusive laws. But I would also like to give another big assignment to NILDS and the DG, which is that I know that the 10th Assembly has been trying not to just pay lip service to women inclusion. This year, I have to commend them. I believe they have increased the budget for the Women Affairs Ministry substantially, understanding that we cannot just say we are supportive of women inclusion and not appropriating any funds for it. So in that respect, but I would also like the DG to work very hard, even if it's just within the National Assembly, for it to be seen that they're not just paying lip service, but there's gender inclusion in everything, as well as being, what's the word I'm looking for, amenable to laws that favor women and children and persons with disability.
Thank you very much, dear committee members. Let me say that there are three important tasks before us today as we pay attention to what is contained in this policy. Number one is helping us understand how the policy sets priorities for the National Assembly in a sequence that can build momentum. How we set priorities in a sequence that can build momentum but does not overwhelm the system. Because we had a policy before from which we have to learn lessons of communication. And second is that we need to anticipate that having a policy is necessary but insufficient. Building ownership is extremely important. And that is why I was very happy, to hear that we have many clerks of committees present in the room today, because you are the custodians, as it were, of the memory of the National Assembly. And we thank you for the work that you do. Third is that we have to co-create that process. It's not about the committee, it's not about NILDS, it's not about National Assembly. It's about all the leaders of civil society that are in this room today, from the executive, and of course, our distinguished and honorable leaders of our National Assembly. It's really about you, it's about what you agree and what you decide has to happen today.
In this review process, I urge us all to engage openly and constructively. Let us listen to the voices of those who have been impacted by these policies and that are yet to be impacted. These experiences will guide us in refining our strategies and ensuring that they are not only effective, but also inclusive and responsive to the needs of our diverse population. As we move forward, let us reaffirm our commitment to creating a society where gender equality is not just an aspiration, but a reality. Together, we can foster an environment that empowers every individual to reach their full potential, contributing to the prosperity and well-being of our nation as a whole. Finally, I would like to express my gratitude to the Director General of NILDS all relevant stakeholders here present, the leadership of the National Assembly, and all those that are involved in this important review. Your dedication and passion are vital in shaping a future where gender equality is woven into the very fabric of our society.
I want to congratulate the DG for two things. First, NILDS is the only institution that is now alive that normally carry messages across to Nigerians on anything gender, as far as we are concerned. Two, I'm also happy, and I congratulate the DG again for creating this unit in NILDS, because we now know that we have a focus, and we know that we can now go somewhere when there is need for anything on gender. So, Mr. DG, I congratulate you.
We know that Parliament is the only body that can bridge the gap between policy and practice. We're not the only body, but it is the lead body, because even when the president makes appointments, Parliament has to screen the nominees and approve that list. And if you do not approve, then they are not ministers. We have people who were screened, and were not approved. So that's how powerful the National Assembly is. And that's why we think that this effort to revise the gender strategy to become the gender equity and social inclusion strategy is laudable. Nigeria is committed to inclusion because we are signatories to the Sustainable Development Goals. We can't run away from that. We are also signatory to the African Union Agenda 2063, regional protocol, other regional protocols. We are signatory to the Child Rights Convention, which we have even domesticated, in Nigeria as a Child Rights Act. And then the Nigerian, federal constitution enshrines the principle of non-discrimination. I'm just presenting this for us to know that, yes, on paper, we are committed. We have policies. The National Gender Policy 2021 to 2026 promises 50-50 affirmative action. The 2006 version promised 35% affirmative action. We have never achieved 35%. Even in appointments, I think it was only Jonathan's government that got up to 31% inclusion of women in its cabinet, and that earned him a standing ovation at the UN General Assembly meeting. So that's how important it is to the world.
In his remarks, the Director General of NILDS, Professor Abubakar Olarinwaju Suleiman, emphasized the Institute's strategic role in advancing women's participation in governance by providing policymakers with informed, evidence-based guidance.
Distinguished participants, our institute have not relented in ensuring that the issue of gender inclusivity is not just a rhetoric, but an agenda to be pursued vigorously. We have done a lot through our partnership with other development partners, like the Mercator Foundation, the UN Women, and the FAWE. The Institute also ensured the establishment of a dedicated unit under the Director General's office to deal with gender and inclusivity issues. Also, in the year 2023, the Institute convoked an International Women Conference on Women Participation and Governance, which proceedings are in the process of being documented. But I want to assure you once again, my sister, that NILDS will not relent, because it's our duty as the think tank for National Assembly to set the pace for the leadership and indeed for members of National Assembly. It is not our duty to key into what you do. It's our duty to serve as a compass and direct you to do what is right. And that I'm committed to, inshallah. And this note, therefore, as we embark on this significant task, let us reaffirm our commitment to fostering a National Assembly that is truly representative, inclusive, and gender sensitive. A National Assembly of less than 20 women is not a democracy. Until we get women fully in places, both in the areas of policy making and legislation, then we can say as a country we're practicing democracy. As of today, what we have in the country, with due respect to our leaders, is short of democracy, as women and youths are less involved in governance and in lawmaking. Furthermore, Let this review that we have today not be an end, but a means toward tangible change that will positively impact our legislative processes and the life of our citizens. On this note, therefore, on behalf of the leadership of the National Assembly, the distinguished Senate President, and the Right Honorable Speaker, declare this validation workshop open with hope that so many better things will come out of this document as we progress as a country.
The workshop was attended by the chairpersons of the Senate and House Committees on Women Affairs, Senator Ireti Kingibe and Honorable Kafilat Ogbera, as well as distinguished senators, honorable members, Dr. Amina Salihu, the Deputy Director of the Africa Office of the MacArthur Foundation, and other esteemed participants.
Given the lack of proper implementation and adoption, the aims and purposes of the strategy were not actualized. Hence, the need to review the document to reflect the current dimensions and issues of gender, given the current economic and political issues. In the 9th Assembly, several proposals were made or several bills were submitted in terms of bills to improve and advance gender-responsive legislations in Nigeria. Despite efforts by CSOs and international partners who worked so hard to support the Nigerian government, statistics showed that not much was achieved in this aspect. Rather, a drastic decline was witnessed when it comes to women, youth, and persons with disabilities inclusion in politics. The 10th Assembly have made promises again. CSOs and partners have continued. Advocacies, capacities, and awareness creation programs are all ongoing in an effort to promote and advance social justice and an inclusive and sustainable economic development. Having a gender-inclusive strategy for the Parliament is crucial because it ensures that the concerns, needs, and experiences of both women and men, youth, and persons living with disabilities are fully considered in all legislative processes, budget allocations, and oversight functions, promoting gender equality and creating policies that benefit the entire population. Thus, it makes the Parliament more representative and responsive to the diverse needs of its constituents.
In order to strengthen legislative practice, enhance good governance, and promote international best practices in democracy in Uganda and Africa, the National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies, NILDS, commenced a capacity-building workshop for members of the Budget Committee of the Ugandan Parliament on the effective utilization of constituency development funds for better quality representation in the Parliament of Uganda. The workshop aims to provide participants with a comprehensive study of Nigeria's Constituency Development Fund model, equipping them with the knowledge and skills necessary to effectively oversee, allocate, and monitor funds for maximum developmental impact.
This workshop marks the fourth occasion in which Ugandan parliamentarians are interacting with the NILDS training program. And I think it's a testament to the enduring partnership between our legislative institutions and our shared commitment to democratic development. To the 10 parliamentarians on today's program, you present Uganda's brightest and committed leaders and from your respective districts. As you embark on this 5-day training, mine is a brief word of encouragement to take full advantage of the expertise and insights that will be shared. Let this be an opportunity for constructive dialogue, for experience sharing, and strengthening interparliamentary cooperation between Uganda and Nigeria. I'm made to understand that there will be a return visit to Uganda in the next few days or weeks. So in closing, I extend on behalf of the High Commission of the Republic of Uganda in Nigeria our best wishes for a productive and successful workshop. May the knowledge and skills gained here empower you to serve our country with greater diligence and effectiveness.
While declaring the workshop open, Professor Abubakar Olarinwaju Suleiman commended the government of Uganda for its commitment to training and retraining essential public officials and for the confidence reposed in NILDS to provide qualitative and responsive legislative education to parliamentarians.
Take opportunity to refine your skills, expand your network, and explore solutions to the present issues around Constituency Development Fund. As you return to your legislative duties, I hope you will carry forward the lessons and insights gained here, contributing to a stronger, more accountable, and transparent governance framework in Uganda. I hope this workshop will further strengthen our collective efforts in advancing democracy, accountability, and sustainable development in Uganda and across Africa. Your Excellency, permit me to once again welcome you all to this institute. And I wish to say, before I round off my speech, that the institute is about commencing an advanced executive program. I think I mentioned this to you the other time. The coordinator of the program has been appointed. Professor Tairu Jega was the former chairman of Independent Electoral Commission for Nigeria, and the program will commence in earnest. I hope Uganda Parliament will key into this program. As Nigerian Senate President Riley pointed out, sometimes ago last year, we don't need any Harvard again. No. We don't need any Oxford again. Where you are looking for in Oxford and Harvard, you see it in Nigeria here. And on this note, I want to wish you a very productive and enriching engagement in the coming days.
Welcome to NILDS, where excellence thrives. National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies, an organ of Nigeria's National Assembly, driving sustainable progress. Imagine a world-class institution with cutting-edge facilities, designed to empower parliamentarians and democratic leaders. At the core of our mission lies a commitment to strengthening the capacity of legislators in Nigeria, both at the national and sub-national levels. With over 2 decades of proven success, our expertise has empowered parliamentarians across Africa and beyond, including the ECOWAS Parliament. NILDS offers advanced executive leadership programs designed to enhance the technical skills of leaders across the continent, ensuring they are well equipped to meet the challenges of governance. Why look elsewhere for top-tier training solutions? Choose NILDS, your trusted homegrown partner. Save energy, save costs, and experience excellence with National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies. We redefine capacity building with expert training and innovative learning. Our rich library is a treasure trove of knowledge, offering rare collections for scholars, researchers, and policymakers. From groundbreaking research to academic distinction, we lead the way in fostering democracy and transformation. We also champion citizens' engagement and education through the NILDS Democracy Radio 104.9 FM. To address the nation's security challenges, NILDS houses the Legislative Center for Security Analysis, a premier repository of research and data. Our 1,000-seater convention center and modern lecture halls ranging from 70 to 300 seats set the stage for unforgettable events. We craft experiences with elegance. Connect with us today and be part of the legacy. Location: Number 2, Abubakar O. Suleiman Avenue, off POA Junction, Airport Road, Abuja. NILDS, your partner in strengthening democracy for Nigeria, for Africa, for the world.
The task of the leaders is to get their people from where they are to where they've not been. How do we hold our leaders accountable in the business of lawmaking and representation?
The mandate that you have given to us is not abuse in any way.
The primary purpose of government is to ensure the welfare and security of the Nigerian people.
The constituency project had noble intentions, and they still remain the most veritable tool.
Do they really know their representatives at the states and national assemblies?
Our people, they don't have water, they are suffering. They only drink water from where rain fall.
For the current one, the 10th assembly, I don't really know who is in charge.
From the mountaintops to the deepest valleys, we're ready to go an extra mile just to show Nigerian your constituency project. Know your representative with Maria, bridging the visible gap. Thank you for being a part of the program this week. Join me same time next week as I bring you another interesting edition of the program. For missed episodes, you can catch up on our YouTube page, mbly TV. Thank you for watching. I am Maria Olashendi. Goodbye and God bless Nigeria.